Hello and welcome back to the channel. My name is Ujaha and I've been away for a couple of weeks, but I'm back, and today we've got a fun little video where I'm basically going to rank some of the layer ones that we have in the space with a little custom tier list. It's just a fun video, just my own opinions. Obviously do your own research, and of course, as always, nothing is financial advice, so let's get straight to it. And really what I wanted to do is just basically get a bunch of these and just pretty much rank them in order. So where should we start with? Let's start from, the very top. So we've got Polygon Matic. Now the question is, where do I put this over in these categories? Now I don't think it's really at the bottom, but I also don't think it's really at the top either. Polygon or Matic has a pretty good ecosystem, very cheap gas fees. It's a scaling solution somewhat for Ethereum. It's very centralized, however, and I think because of that, I think I'm just going to put it in the okay category. There are a lot of interesting developments that come onto the Polygon network, lots of interesting applications as well. But I think there still needs to be a bit more work. And you know what? I think if there is something that is going to make it for the long run, maybe Polygon might be one of them. There is a lot of work happening, and they seem to have quite a strong team as well. So, I think they're okay. In fact, maybe even partially solid. So let's put it kind of in both, I think. Perfect. Right, let's go second with Cardano, ADA being its native token. This is a really interesting one because it's kind of been here for a while now. It's survived from 2017. Charles Hoskinson seems to have some sort of direction for Cardano. Personally, and again, this is just my opinion, I'm really not a fan of Cardano or ADA. I think the ecosystem is actually quite weak. There isn't much to do on there at the moment. I would much rather prefer using some of the other layer ones. Their networks are just much more developed at the moment. But ADA does have this almost cult-like following. They have a lot of support, and you can see that it's held its relatively well compared to the other crypto assets. Of course, everything's gone down recently, but it's held up relatively well. It's still in the top 10. There are a lot of people developing. They have a different language, Pluto. So let's see kind of what happens. Pluto and Haskell, sorry. So let's kind of see what happens. For me, it's meh. I think there isn't really much going on there. I've played around with a lot of Cardano DeFi, even some of the NFT stuff. It's just not very good at the moment, so we'll leave it there for the time being. Next we've got Harmony One. Now this is a really interesting one because I do really like Harmony as a network, but unfortunately since DeFi Kingdom, I haven't really seen much going on Harmony. DeFi Kingdoms, I think, really took Harmony up. They have a great team again as well. They've been around for a long time. But I mean, other than DFK, I mean, really, what have we seen Harmony do? They've got very cheap gas fees. It's very easy to use. Just like Matic is, or the Polygon network is, sorry. But I think, there still needs to be a lot of development. A lot needs to happen, really. So we just have to kind of wait for that, I think. But because of that, I think currently in its current phase, I've got to put it in the meh category, really. Next we have Avax. I mean, Avax is solid. I think they've really demonstrated that they've got a really good working, functioning ecosystem that people can use. And they've had some great applications being built on Avax. So much development, a lot of rewards, a lot of bootstrapping liquidity, which has really helped Avax become big over, in 2021, I'd say really was Avax's year. Obviously price wise, Avax has done poorly since, but that's in line with the rest of the market. In terms of its network as a whole, though, I do think that Avax is very solid. And the question is, do I put it in fire, put on the ledger? I mean, would you put Avax on your ledger as a long-term hold? Potentially. Again, I think just like Matic, we're going to have to put this kind of in both categories. It's not completely fire, but it's more than just very solid for sure. I do really like Avax. I think it's great. So yeah, it'll stay there for now. Right, next we've got Solana. Again, we had the Sol, Lunar, Avax year of 2021. Again, a very, very, very solid network, which has had its pros and its cons. I think one of the biggest cons is currently, the amount of times that Solana has actually gone down with network outages. Not very good. I think because of that, I think we've got to put Solana in very solid. They have some incredible applications for sure. Very cheap gas fees, easy to use, a thriving NFT ecosystem. Solana is really on its way to becoming one of the best networks or ecosystems around in crypto, if not already. There is still a bit of work that needs to be done though. It's not perfect. I mean, no network is really perfect, but I think Solana does have what it takes to probably take it to the top, compete with the likes of Ethereum. For the time being, it's not quite there yet. So let's see what happens. Next, we've got Near. I mean, towards the end of the bull run, we did see a lot of things coming up with Near. They announced their big development programs, and we did see the rise of Near and Aurora and some of the other kind of big applications being built on their money markets and all sorts that we saw. Sadly, it just came at the wrong time. Had it come a year ago, I think we would have seen Near really compete with the likes of Solana and Avax. I think because of that, we've got to put it in the okay category. Next we have Phantom. Again, Phantom did have its run in the market as well. There was a big craze, especially on crypto Twitter, really just talking about how amazing Phantom is. They had a really high TVL compared to its market cap. Andre was in charge of kind of developing Phantom, really was making big progress. Him leaving, and I think the whole issue with solidly really hurt Phantom. I think Phantom is probably 90% down from its all-time high. It's sad to see. A lot of the apps on the Phantom network I actually really enjoyed to use. But I don't think they're as good as what we have on Solana or Avax. I think because of that, I definitely have to put it in the okay category. I mean, I probably would still recommend Phantom as an ecosystem for people to explore. I don't know whether or not the current market is the right one for Phantom at the moment, but let's see what happens. Possibly some new innovation is required. We just kind of have to just wait and see for that. But you never know what happens in crypto. Things change very, very quickly. So let's see. Next, we've got the Binance Smart Chain. I think a lot of people have realized that the power that Binance has is pretty good. They're a very solid, very, very solid network. They don't really have many issues. I think the main thing is that it's centralized, extremely centralized. But I mean, as a network, very easy to use. I mean, for the last few years, I've been using some of these big BSC applications. I think we all know some of them, like in the form of PancakeSwap, for example. I think BSC is very, very solid. And you can see that if you ever use a network as well. I do think that BSC does probably need some more interesting applications. I don't think it's really there on the same level, perhaps, as maybe Avax or Solana even. But, I think as a whole, BSC, very solid network. It works. And that's really ultimately what you want. Next, we've got Tron. It's pretty easy for me to put this in the dump category, WTF, and dump this, because Tron, I mean, there isn't anything on Tron. I mean, Justin Sun can say what he likes. He can offer as high yields on his stablecoins as he wants. Tron is pathetic. We'll save it as that. We've got Atom next. I think Cosmos as a whole, the ecosystem is really good. Atom, its token itself, I think is pretty useless for the time being. There isn't really much revenue driving from the token itself. But the actual ecosystem is pretty good. So I don't know. I think if we're talking about the actual ecosystem, I think we can say that it's very solid. We have so many different things being built on Cosmos. But the token itself, not very good. I think because of that, we'll put it in okay. But I think Cosmos has huge potential and it is very good. So we have the last two. Let's start with Ethereum. It's very easy for me to put this in the fire category. This is what you have to put on your ledger. Ethereum is by far ahead of every other layer one in terms of network, in terms of security. I think obviously everyone has the main complaint about Ethereum scalability, Ethereum gas fees, Ethereum network congestion. Right now, I mean, during the bear market, it's fine. Yes, you do still have to pay a few dollars for gas fees, but I mean, look at the range of applications you have on Ethereum. They've got cutting edge technology. Their apps are by far superior to all other layer ones, really. I find that all the new stuff, the new interesting stuff comes on Ethereum before anywhere else. And Ethereum has a monopoly somewhat as well. I mean, if you just go and have a look at the top dApps, they're all on Ethereum, or they all originated on Ethereum. The entire NFT market is almost entirely run on Ethereum. Most of the DeFi stuff is on Ethereum, although yes, you can argue that that is changing and some of these other layer ones are taking market share away from Ethereum. You know, since 2020 when DeFi really took off, Ethereum still has the majority monopoly. And I love using Ethereum. I use Ethereum all the time. It's fantastic. You got to put it on your ledger. Put it on your ledger. Keep your Ethereum. I mean, of course, for me, I love using my assets. That's how I enjoy using them. That's how I think they should be used. They are productive assets at the end of the day. And you should be able to generate positive cash flow on your assets. Otherwise, are they really assets? So yeah, I think Ethereum, fantastic. It's definitely fire. It's the best in my opinion. Yeah, let's leave it at that. Lastly, we've got Lunar. Oh, Lunar is really, really interesting. If you, you know, had you asked me 6 months ago, I would have put it in the fire category easily. I loved the Lunar applications. They were my favorite by far. I think it's easy for everyone to see if you just scroll down my channel. You'll see that all the Terra applications, so I made videos about. I loved using them. There was so many as well, and I had so many more videos planned. It's a shame what's happened. Because of that, I mean, you got to just dump your Lunar. Unfortunately, it's currently worthless. In terms of Lunar 2.0, again, I mean, I probably would put it in not recommend at the moment, only because there's nothing on there. There's no development. There's no money markets, really. Yes, we have Astroport and some of the other ones, but I mean, it's still a long way away from where it really used to be. Yeah, there was that whole Sol Lunar Avax narrative of the last bull run. That's over for the time being because Lunar obviously collapsed. Or Terra collapsed, UST collapsed. I mean, yeah, that's the current state of play at the moment. Let's see obviously what happens. I think let's see if we can get some development going there, build some really innovative stuff. But I mean, for the time being, if you've got any of that, personally, this is just my opinion as well. I don't know. I could be completely wrong. Again, I'm just a random guy on the internet. I am dumping my Lunar. I think it's just better opportunities elsewhere. So that's pretty much my tier list. Of course, there's so many other layer ones that I could have talked about as well. These are just some of them. I don't want to make the video too long for you guys. But it's been a while since my last video, so hopefully you guys enjoyed this one. It's just a chilled out, relaxed one where I'm just talking about some of my own opinions. In the next video, maybe I'll do another fun one like this. If you've got any recommendations or anything that you'd like to see me talk about, drop them down in the comment section below. But that's pretty much all I've got for you today. Make sure you smash the like button, subscribe to the channel, and of course, I'll be back with another video soon.